My drive isn't doing the thing it's supposed to do, and I'm kind of freaking out. Never mind, it's working now. Hello! Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello. Why are my eyes, like, all the way up there? Can I do something about that, maybe? Can we do something about the eyes, perhaps? But only perhaps. Maybe? If you're interested, maybe? Um... Uh... The eyes vertical start. There we go. There we go. Now I'm looking at you all. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello. How are we today? Are we all doing super well? I really hope so, because I have a very awesome game to play today. We are playing Bad End Theater. Here's the thing. Last time we played Bad End Theater, I got, like, a ton of the endings, but I couldn't manage to get all of them, because that takes forever. But I'm smarty smart pants, and I managed to, I fixed all these audio things, and then I accidentally touched something, and I broke it. Properties, no. Wouldn't be a Leafy stream without audio issues. Advanced audio properties. Shoot you up to, like, 17. Go. Okay, maybe just my regular position's fine. That should fix all my audio issues. Maybe. If it doesn't, and it's too loud, or too quiet, or something, someone should let me know, because otherwise I won't realize. Anyhow, I have a lovely game. Bad End Theater. Very silly, fun game. Here's the thing. I went through, and I haven't gotten any more endings yet, but I have replayed a couple of the levels, just to make sure my little sneaky tool works. Because I got a tool for myself that allows me to record which endings I've gotten so far. Okay? It's super handy. It's just a Google Sheet, but, like, also so handy. So without further ado, enter the Bad End Theater. If you weren't with us last time, these are our 4 main characters. The hero, the maiden, the underling, and the overlord. These guys are, like, super cool. Okay? You just gotta trust that they're super cool, you know? I'm gonna change up some sizing things, just because I'm realizing it's hard for me to see. There we go. And I get to play as each of them. These are their little treats, and I get to change them, because that totally changes the plot and events of the story. So, for example, we're gonna play as the hero, who is wearing a belt on his head, just to test things out, just to explain everything. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot, of course. You are told by a maiden in your village has been kidnapped, and is most likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Who even puts a village next to where the entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. The demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. So I get to make the choice of flee like a coward, or bravely slaughter the evil creatures. Let's be brave about this, guys. You make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. After a long trek, you safely make it to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that looks very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. So I could either be diplomatic and ask if they'll let me in, or cut through the demon army. Which should be super diplomatic, you know? It's kind of funny. We attempt to explain why you've come, but the monster before you is eyeing suspiciously. They can't help but notice the demon blood from earlier that you haven't gotten the chance to wipe off yet. You have no choice but to fight the army in self-defense. Oh well, more experience points for you. You make your way through the castle, fending off all of the demons that stand in your way. Oh! I accidentally hit the skip button. That was not my intention immediately. But anyway, you get the idea. I make choices, they do those choices. Easy, super duper peasy. Can I edit this, please? No? Okay. So, I have all of these endings to collect, so let's start. We're gonna go with this one first. I am supposed to check none of them. None of them get checked. Bloop. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and small guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You were told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped, and is likely being held captive at the nearby Demon Overlord's castle. But who even puts a village right next to where an entire demonry hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. So you head off to your adventures to rescue the maiden. So, for this one, we're going with this one. So I check none of them, and I bravely slaughter all the creatures, of course. Because what other options do I have? You quit quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. After a long trek, you made it to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that looks very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. So, obviously, the answer, I gotta tell you guys, pretty simple, pretty easy, and I'm totally not checking my little spreadsheet thing for it. Not I. Not I, said Leafy. That one. Okay, so let's cut through the demon army. You gather your courage. This is what must be done in order to rescue the maiden. They're evil demons anyway. The world is much better and safer without them. That's what you tell yourself while you kill one after another on your way to the Overlord's chambers. You find the maiden being held captive by the Overlord, just as you suspected. But for some reason, you can't sense anything sinister happening. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Destroy the Overlord, or ask the maiden what's going on. Let's ask what's going on. She explains that she came here on her own and was never in any danger. She hesitantly asks why you're covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. The Overlord moves past you and out the door. You see her army in lifeless, bloody piles. She's wailing. It's horrible. This is your chance, hero. Now, if you're a true pacifist like myself, you aren't gonna do this. Because I think this is all just a big misunderstanding, really. You hope she'll let this whole thing slide if you can just explain yourself. You really try, but the Overlord is inconsolable. She tears you apart. The maiden watches in silence. As you die, you can't help but think, you probably deserved this. Tragic hero end. So now you get the kind of premise of the game. All of these endings are technically bad endings, but they are kind of good in a way because you get a new ending and it's kind of exciting, and we get really excited when you get a whole, ending. So for the next one, we are going to click Obedient, and these all different things change the way the story progresses. So we're going to click Obedient from the maiden and Antisocial from the Overlord. This should change it so that when the Overlord is like, get out of my castle, the maiden will be like, oh, okay, I'm getting out of your castle. So we're going to play as the hero. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable guy, blah 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 blah. Alright, listen, these guys look really scary. I don't know if you've noticed, but this one kind of looks like me. Bob and all that, and little demon horns. So I'm going to flee like a coward. Creating your pride, you escape with your life. But you can't return home now. Your reputation will be in ruins. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. Lousy demon underlings, of course. You'll take your chances at the castle. You're a hero, after all. This is your job. On your way back to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back towards the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity. You ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is, like, right there? It's dangerous. The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. So, listen, girlie. I don't think she can be trusted. You aren't sure you should listen to this maiden. You've been taught your whole life that demons are evil. You ask if she's sure about all this, but she gets very upset that you think you would lie to her. Yeah, words. She storms off before you can say anything else. You decide to return to the village, certain that she must have been the kidnapped maiden you were sent to rescue. Glad you took care of it. You take your time walking home. Job well done today, you think to yourself. As you walk past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is this the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise, and you stand idly as flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. She seemed nice to you, you think. But evil comes in all forms, you reassure yourself. You decide to call it a day and return to your house. But you can't escape this sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Spectator hero ending A. Which is a terrible ending if you ask me. That is so sad. Alright, let's do the next one. Reset the stage. I'm gonna take a little sip of water. This should be very similar from what I've noticed. So, obedient, antisocial. Is that it? Yeah, obedient, antisocial, and yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do all of that again, but then we're gonna do just one thing a little bit slightly different. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable, swell guy, blah 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 blah. Overlord Castle, you're the hero, you gotta do something about it, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. And then we're gonna flee like a coward because, come on guys. Come on guys, these guys are scary. This is terrifying. Off to the castle I go. Waddle, waddle, waddle. Waddle, waddle, waddle. Maiden, blah blah blah. And then... what do I do? Apparently it gives me the same thing. Hold on. I might be crazy. Believe her story. Trusting. Is it gonna give you a different thing? You have no reason to assume she's lying to you, even though her story is kind of hard to believe. You feel like you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty darn surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to the village. They had all been so worried. They praise you for your victory and bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing needed to be rescued for in the first place. I mean, come on guys. The villagers look to you for an explanation. You politely inform them that it isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They are being subtle about how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believe her, but to placate these fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking of what a great, reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town's elder voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you meet with the Overlord immediately and says they'll keep an eye on the maiden until you return. I don't like that I can see where this is going. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But suddenly she takes off running. Oh, you thought the two of you were in this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar from which the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her like a demon friend's down, and her demon friend's down already. That doesn't sound very heroic of a task. You can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. Of course it is. Because you're the hero. You valiantly dash after the maiden towards the Overlord's castle. The air becomes dark and thick as you enter the deep demon territory. Evil Missima? No, you realize it's just normal smoke. You see the maiden ahead, but she's stopped in her tracks. The Overlord's castle engulfed in flames. You had only taken an eye off the maiden for a second, but she's already disappeared. As she gets closer to the castle, you realize the smoke is so thick now. You think of turning back. Oh, this is so sad. On the other side of things, the underling is trying to overthrow the Overlord. The maiden might need your help, but you can barely see she would be impossible to find. She could have been lying to you all along. Was this a trap? Would it be worth risking your life on that chance? Your legs feel heavy. Oh, buddy. No. Going in there would be suicide. You'll return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. Oh! The hero does nothing as the demon castle burns down. Terrible. That hurt. That hurt a lot, I gotta tell you. Alright, let's reset the stage. Alright, next one is the unlucky one. So we're gonna be obedient. Oh! Oh, what is this? I got another option, diplomatic. Ooh. So we're gonna click obedient, antisocial, disloyal. Yeah, I think those are the ones. Let's do it all again. You're the hero, you're a pretty good guy, blah blah blah. Castle, blah 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 blah. Flee like a coward, blah blah blah. Believe her story. Come on, guys, come on, come on. Come on. Can't be that bad. But you were too late. Though unguarded at the gates, you spot a group of demons surrounding a body. The maiden, she was a fool to have trusted demons after all. The hero, your hero blood is boiling. You'll avenge her death. You charge through the gates to eliminate every demon you see. What the fork are you doing killing all of my soldiers? Oh, what did I do? What the fork are you doing killing all my soldiers? The Overlord is angry. You vow to exterminate her and all of the demons. Oh boy. Oh buddy. Hey friend. Hey friend. I don't know that you, friend, I don't know that you need to do that. You clash again and again, but the Overlord isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health when... What is that? What is that in the background? Everything goes black. Your quest has come to an abrupt end. Unlucky hero end. The hero is abruptly killed off by the underling after fighting the Overlord. Huh. Let me look what that looks like. So, he'll be dutiful. No, he won't be. He'll be... push things through. Okay. So we'll make him not kill any demons at all, and then we'll trust her story, because then I want to see the underling side of things. You are a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but you're not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It is unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all this way to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She's surprisingly cool with it. Nice! You set out on your adventure toward outside the castle. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to a nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. You consider your options. If I gobble her up, that ends that storyline right where it sits. Let's tell her to quit yelling. When the maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, she regains her composure. Now she started talking with you like you're friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. You speak the same language, of course, which has always confused you, because why is there conveniently only one language in the world? If demons and humans have independent societies, wouldn't it make sense for them each to have their own language? The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's supposed to fulfill. Bottom line, from her and you gather, is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide about time for a nap. Hey buddy, nap's not the greatest idea this second. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what their deal is. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current Overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or not. And being a pretty lazy underling, of course you reply with, "Sounds like a lot of trouble. Just skip it instead." You're pressed to question your loyalty to their cause. Okay, let's kill the Overlord. What's the worst that could happen? You tell them you were just joking, clarify that you're totally in to win it. They just say they were always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'd be to end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of fox confidence, you worry about getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured they'd just lock her in a room and set it on fire. Stupid plan. That could go wrong in so many ways. You realize your friends are just a bunch of emotionless thugs. Useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on. And while showy deaths make a revolution heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Man, revolutions pretty fun, but showy revolutions even more fun. That's what I'm getting. Your friends agree and suggest you play the assassin. You didn't really want it to come down to this. But you can't back down now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. But besides, no one has any better ideas. You and your friends turn to notice the maiden from earlier has overheard your entire conversation. It'd be bad for you if the Overlord found out about this. Toss her in the dungeon, or use the maiden for killing practice. Let's toss her in the dungeons. You and your friends seize the maiden and bring her to the dungeons under the castle. It's empty, save for the decorative skulls. They're only there to make it feel more spooky. I mean, of course. The maiden is very upset. You leave her in your cell to continue scheming with your friends. Now, a new hero has arrived at the front gates. He's asking about a maiden, perhaps the very one you just locked up. Gatekeeper, who must have seen everything, tells the hero exactly what happened. What an idiot! You think, Why give the hero an excuse to start slaughtering us? I mean, yeah, why are we telling the hero where the maiden we just captured is? Are we not in the interest of, like, keeping the maiden down there? The hero yells, "Prepare to face justice," and other such cliche hero lines before diving his sword into the gatekeeper's torso. You're small compared to a lot of your friends, so you're just able to slip away without getting cut up by that sword. You get to thinking, if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might just work out in your favor. You wait for things to die down outside before poking your head out. You spot the Overlord and hero locked in battle. They've worn each other down, making this very easy for you. Once an opening presents itself, you hit the back of the hero's head, knocking him out. "What are you doing? Couldn't you tell this was a duel?" You don't respond. You have to carry out the assassination. You tackle her and rip her to shreds with your claws until she stops moving. You finish off the hero next. You can't let him revive and come after you later. Kind of a cheap victory, but it doesn't make it any difference. Everyone who managed to survive comes crawling out of their hiding places. You are the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that one day, someone will betray you, as you had betrayed their overlord. Lord Underling ending A. Ooh, I didn't think that would be the one. Okay, so let's reset the stage. So I guess that's one way to get that to happen. Oh, shoot. Okay, so I'm kind of still worried about the hero, because now we have the diplomatic thing. I guess I have to get, like, the fourth one for these two, too, huh? So let's play as the maiden for a bit. Oh! With the maiden in this one. You are a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You are told that you are fated to be captured by the overlord one day, because you are a beautiful young girl. Demon overlords apparently love capturing those. Hey guys, if anyone tells you that you're just a pretty girl, and that makes it totally okay for you to be captured, or for people to do dumb stuff, and say, "Oh, boys will be boys," they are wrong. Okay, sure. You think of how you haven't heard that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't been given the opportunity? Who knows? You are in church. You pray to your god, asking why you have been born into the role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. You are really impatient. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe you would understand your role better if you were to just hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note and venture forth to find a demon. Just, see what happens. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. Let's myself. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell them that you were thinking maybe you could understand your role better if you were to hurry up and get taken away by a demon already. The demon doesn't seem to really have been listening to you, which is a little irritating. But they agree to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you are introduced to the Overlord. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. Turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens, or to do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out, and something awful would happen. Then the hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to become more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like a complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude, you just got here. I guess I can obey. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He asks what you're doing. Don't you know the Overlord's castle is, like, right there? Oh, shoot, I think I was supposed to click the other thing. He is very surprised that demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to be. The two of you return to the village, hoping to communicate this to everyone. They'd all been so worried and are very glad that the hero brought you back. You quickly set the record straight. You weren't rescued, because there was nothing to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers seem confused and look to the hero for an explanation. He tells them it only ran into you this way to tell the castle, and that this isn't really his story to tell. What a man! You explain to them how you met the Overlord, and that she's not actually interested in capturing maidens like the other mean things like that. The villagers look again for the hero for confirmation, and you feel a little miffed that they seem to... Bleh. I'm really good at pronouncing words. The villagers look again to the hero for confirmation. You feel a little miffed that they would seem to prefer his word over yours, but you don't say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes your story, but volunteers to go talk to the demons himself, just to be absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. He hears words like trickery and demon sympathizer being thrown around, which makes you frown. You're pretty sure that everyone's this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't sure anymore. An old man implores the hero to go speak with the demon overlord immediately. He says that you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous until the hero returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him. Because, of course, if you were conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let your guard down. The whole village would be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed in a cell at this rate. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overlord, not your fellow countrymen. Ooh! Leave on your own. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. A suspicious group of demons stands just outside the entrance. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately take notice of you overhearing them, and decide to lock you in a dungeon before you can cause any trouble. You cry out, but the demons ignore your protest. You can't believe you escaped, possibly being thrown in a cell block by your village, only to be tossed in this awful place. This is terrible. Who's going to keep these demons from harming the Overlord? You hope she can fend for herself. You're sure he can't. You sure can't, sorry. You hear the sounds of battle echoing through the halls outside. Did the hero follow you? If he's out there, your cries didn't reach him. After a while, the violence seems to die down. It's impossible to tell what happened. You continue to wait, but no one comes for you. Unable to escape, you rot in that cell. Imprisoned mating end. Whoa, that's sad. Okay. Alright, let's reset the stage. Let's do that again. This time we're picking Resolute. Because I didn't know that was an option. Maiden, skippy, skippy, skip. Introduce yourself, skippy, skippy, skip. Obey her, skippity dippity dip. Grab the hero and run. You boldly announce that you'll accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there instead of staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. You have to warn her. Oh, and we got more colors now. The hero shakes his head. He says that this is the true nature of demons. The world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think. What if a hero passes up the chance to save a life? The demons have taken notice of you. Now or never, you take off into the castle and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. You burst into the Overlord's room, all of your words filling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling you a liar. You're surprised that they were a part of this evil plot. They seemed so nice. The other demons come in right after them, saying that the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You are relieved when the Overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think she's very Overlord-like in this moment. A group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the doorway, leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds the door in distress. Have they locked you all in? You have a bad feeling about this. And that feeling must have jinxed it, because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. If you had pretended not to hear them, if you left as you were told, and the Overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survived. Even if it must exist. It simply must. The Overlord seizes her underling. They beg for life. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The Overlord's claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws into the poor thing while you continue to pray. There is no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, and the hero and the underling's corpse are consumed by the flames. Devout Maiden End. Ow. Alright. Let's see what other options we have. What if we tried trusting for the hero, antisocials for you, so you get kicked out, and then disloyal because I want you to try and kill them, but I want you to get captured when you go to kill them. You know? You know what I mean? So, yes, let's do that. Trusting for the hero. I can choose these myself, thank you very much. And then disloyal and captor and antisocial. Alright, let's play the maiden round. Blah 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 blah, introduce yourself, blah 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 blah. Oh, shoot. I gotta obey her. Because then I gotta leave. Hello, Mr. Hero. Grab and run. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Let me check my little roster again. Trusting for the hero. Oh, yeah. Trusting for the hero. Antisocial for the Overlord. Disloyal for the underling. Captor for the underling. Oh, you know what I haven't done yet? I don't know if this is the right one that I want to do. But I haven't done it so... I haven't done it so that I yell at people and I'm like, no! So, everyone is shouting, blah blah blah, shouting. Leave on my own. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. Make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving your hero behind. Have I done this already? Yep. Assassination, they take you, blah blah blah. You sure can't. I don't know if that's the one I want. No, because that's imprisoned. What am I trying to do? Huh. So we're doing that one. So trusting for the hero. Antisocial for the Overlord. Disloyal for the underling. Oh, I missed this one. Skip. Introduce myself. Skip. And we will refuse to leave. No. Never mind. Let's do that one more time. Skip. Introduce myself. Skip. Obey her. Skip. Huh. Where is the option I'm looking for? Because in my little thing, It says slaughtered maiden, trusting for the hero. Uh-huh. Antisocial for the overlord. Mm-hmm. Disloyal for the underling. And then for my options, pick any. I don't know. Maybe I messed up. Alright. So. Alright. I'm feeling a little confused. I'm trying to get this last one here. So. Let's do dutiful and antisocial, because if he's dutiful and he murders everybody, and then she leaves, or she tells her to leave, then we leave. We might get eaten, maybe? It's an option. Blah blah blah. Introduce yourself. Blah blah blah. And obey her. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He's covered in demon blood. You are frightened by the sight and run away. You return to the village alone. Everyone is very worried about you. They surround you with thousands of questions, and you tell your story. As you explain that the Overlord never had any intentions to harm anyone, you notice looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You are loudly interrupted by an older man. He rudely calls you a demon sympathizer. Crowd is growing unruly. You've told them they believe you. They weave elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. How could you have returned without the aid of a hero, they ask. You could not have possibly escaped the Overlord without any harm. You must be conspiring with demons, trying to trick everyone into believing they aren't horrible creatures we know them to be, they say. Have the people of your village always been this blinded by fears and hatred of things they've never cared about? You wonder how you missed that before. You're seized by the crowd, from voices from outside calling public execution. You are to be burned at the stake. You don't want to die. And I get the burned at the stake ending. You can only they can only watch you burn, and you can only cry for them. You are so, so sorry. Executed mating end. Huh. I'm starting to think my little list here might be wrong. Alright, for now, let's do this. Complacent maiden. So, let's do dutiful and heroic. And apparently, I'm supposed to do absolutely nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Do nothing. Introduce myself, sure. But then, okay. Let's return. So basically what's happened is, I can go back a little bit. So they have a little gay time. Very cute. You always thought demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems they've never cared. It seems the Overlord could say the same about humans. You may be different, but they're just trying to live their lives the same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I've told you was to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. It feels nice. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. But then a hero barges into the room. His clothes are stained by dark liquid. It's dripping from his weapon, too. You realize it must be demon blood. Something horrible has happened. The hero suddenly dashes towards the Overlord, sword drawn. So yes, I have protected her before. Let's do nothing. Oh, this is terrible. The hero's blade pierces the Overlord, and she lets out a horrible scream. You flinch. The Overlord is slain. What is it? The crazy look in his eye! The hero smiles and holds out his hand to you. saying it's time to go home. His glove is drenched in blood. Hesitantly, you take his hand. The hero guides you through the castle, past the corpses of his enemies. You try to keep your eyes at your feet. There is blood everywhere. You shut your eyes, but even then you can't escape the smell. All of this was because of you, wasn't it? You exit the castle, and the hero leads you back to the village. Everyone celebrates the hero's great triumph over the demons. You feel sick, but you take part in the festivities regardless. The complacent maiden. The maiden stands by as the hero slays the overlord. Hated that. That was terrible. That was mean and unkind and just downright, they were getting so close. Okay, let's do none of these. Trusted and antisocial. And is that it? Yep. And then I have to be antisocial and be like blah 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 blah. Or obey her, obedient, and leave on my own. Blah 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 blah. And I'll obey her. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you fight. So you figure it's time to go home. On the way home, you encounter Hero covered in demon blood. Blah 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 blah. They are whispering. They are yelling. This is the same thing again. Huh. You've made an end. Reset the stage. Huh. Missing Hero. Oh, because I clicked dutiful. Not what I needed to do. Blah blah blah. Help me, help me. Blah blah blah. Obey her. Blah 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 blah. And leave on my own. There we go. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. Oh, I've broken my little thing. There we go. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. But as you get closer, you start to notice a tower of black smoke darkening the beautiful blue sky. The castle is engulfed in flames. What in gosh's name could have happened? You scan the fleeting demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room, but the door is shut tight, the handle too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fists against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you'd forgotten your role. Only a hero can pull this kind of thing off. You start to cough. The smoke is too thick. You can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got much time left now. You desperately head towards the stairs to save yourself, but the fire spread faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke! A maiden saving the Overlord? If you just stayed true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Selfless maiden, ending A. Ow! Ow! Ouchie! Ouchie! Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna try this one again, but I'm just gonna try and get it right this time. So only trusting for you, and only... yeah. So Slaughtered Maiden, trusting for the hero. That's it. And antisocial for you. And disloyal for you. And then we play as the maiden. And then I apparently pick anything. And apparently it's gonna work. But I kinda doubt it. Hero, help me! Refuse to leave. Put your foot down. And it happens again. Alright, I'm gonna do that one more time. But This time I'm going to, yeah, we'll be polite, sure, and I'll obey her. Yep, I go home. Yeah, leave on my own. It just ends... Whoa. Wait, go back. Leave on your own. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. A suspicious group of demons stand just outside the entrance. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them. The underling you recognize from before is the first to do something about it. This is just the way it has to be! They suddenly attack you. In that moment, you regret ever having trusted the demons. You die instantly. Slaughtered Maiden. The Maiden is slain by the underling after overhearing their plot. Haha! I see. Okay. Let me mark that off. Slaughtered Maiden. And there's one more. Escaped Maiden. So dutiful, or leave it blank for the hero, and antisocial for the Overlord, sorry. And then my instructions are to obey her. That's it. That's what I've been told. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter Hero. He asks what you're doing. You don't know what the Overlord's castle is like right there. Nothing happened. The hero thinks you're lying. He asks if you've been brainwashed by the demons. But nerve! You are very upset that this so-called hero would treat you this way, and leave in a huff. You return to the village. Everyone was very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions, and you tell them your story. As you explain that the Overlord never had any intuitions, blah blah blah. You're oddly interrupted. You've only told them the truth. Did they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating what must have actually happened. They leave elaborate lies. Have the people of your village always been blinded by the fears and hatred of things they've never cared to know? You wonder how you missed that before. You don't want to die. You wonder, would it have been easier or better to hide the truth? You don't like the thought of that. You've always lived so honestly. So why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting noise of your family and neighbors. Yep. Huh. And I'm supposed to obey her. Huh. It's not doing it, I don't think. Alright, let's reset the stage. And I'll ignore that one just for now. Let's see if I can get any others for the underling. So let's try this one. So I have to be polite. And that's it. And then I have to hear her out. She's actually not so bad, you guys. Okay. Underling. You are a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all this way to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. And she surprisingly go with it? Nice! You set on your adventure outside the castle. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to a nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She greets you and says she has a favor to ask. Would you consider your options? I guess I can hear her out. You're in a good mood today, and are rather curious about what the maiden has to say. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is the kind of exciting. You haven't guessed it would even be possible to understand each other before now. The maid is going on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill, but the bottom line from what you gather is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. I mean, of course, nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. Mrs. Overlord, look what I have. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask what's up. They're planning a whole thing. They want you to hear if you're in or out. And being a pretty underling, so you reply with that sounds like a lot of trouble. Your friends question your loyalty. Hey guys, she's not actually that bad, you guys. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you, but before you can ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's loyal to the Overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand, right? Their claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered. You already know how things like this end. This is a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend, you tell them. They slit your throat in response. The faithful underling end. I feel as though I've gotten this already. I feel as though I'm being swindled. Okay, it seems like there's another path I could take for this, though, that might give other options. So let's reset the stage. And we're gonna click diplomatic for the hero, polite, and possessive. Because apparently this gives me a whole nother options. Okay, so we're gonna hear her out, and then okay, let's kill the Overlord. So blah 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 blah. I guess I can hear her out. Blah 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 blah. Alright, let's kill the Overlord, guys. You tell them that you were just joking and clarify that this is all haha, funny, silly stuff. Blah 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 blah. You sneak up to the Overlord's room, but there's a couple humans in there. You watch the scene unfold. You aren't sure why, but the Overlord suddenly cuts down the hero. She approaches the maiden you brought into her earlier. With the Overlord distracted, you figure now is a good chance as any. You launch a sneak attack, getting her right in the back. She flinches, giving you enough advantage to take her down. You rip the Overlord apart until she stops moving. That was messier than you would have liked. The maiden mutters something from the corner. But thank you for saving me. It wasn't your intention, but it sounds like you did something heroic. You tell the maiden to go home. This place is dangerous. She follows your advice and leaves the council. Whoa, your castle. You are the new Overlord. Merciless, heroic underling end. The underling ends up saving the maiden. They become the new Overlord and the hero. Huh. So what if I do that again? Let's see from this side, because before, he didn't barge in. So let's skip, introduce myself. But the Overlord stops, or rather someone... Actually, let's go back 5 steps. So, for context stuff, hero shows up, and he's like, blah, 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 and the Overlord's like, no. No, you can't go home. You tell her you're planning on returning soon, but she isn't having it. You feel nervous. The hero puts up a brave face for you. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all, and if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You leave me no choice. The Overlord suddenly jumps on the hero. She tears into him with her claws. You want to cry out, but the scream catches your throat. You watch because you can't look away. Had she really been lying to you all along? You wonder if this is your punishment for questioning the divine path. The Overlord approaches you now. You back yourself into a corner. I love all the eyes. She didn't have all these eyes before, but it's real nice to see them now. Her expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord in a horrible way like this was your destiny after all. But the Overlord stops, or rather, someone has stopped her. Whatever held back your scream before doesn't stop you this time. The Overlord is being ripped to shreds by one of her demon underlings. You think you recognize them, but it's hard to tell with all the blood. Everyone stopped moving now. The room is silent. You thank them for what they've done, even though it was awful. You feel you've been rescued from a terrible, terrible fate. They look at you, confused for a moment, but then puff out the chest. You should probably go home. This place is dangerous. You follow their advice and make your way out of the castle. You decide never to leave home again for the rest of your life. Escape maiden ending! Haha! Ha 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 ha. That's the one I wanted. Also, the music is so pretty. Like, I don't get to mention it that often, but the music in this, spectacular. Alright, let's see. Alright. Let's do this one. So, trusting for the hero. Oh, oopsies. Trusting for the hero. And polite. And obedient. And antisocial. And then we play. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Here for out. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, let's kill the overlord. Blah, blah, blah. And we toss her in the dungeon! Please leave! You and your friend squeeze the maiden and bring her to the dungeon under the castle. It's empty, save for the decorative skulls. They're only there to make it more fancy looking. Blah, blah, blah. You are the new overlord. Wonderful. Do 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 do. Okay, let's see if there's anything else I feel like I can do here. I'm like looking at my options. I mean, thinking about this, we could probably do like trusting and polite, and then obviously obedient, so she stays, but then like resolute, or no, so she obedient, so she leaves, and then antisocial. No, that we already did that one. Alright, I guess we can move on to the overlord then. So, do. So, dutiful, heroic, and diplomatic. What? So, dutiful, heroic, hero, or diplomatic heroic. Yeah. And then nothing for anybody else. You are the overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. It's those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called hero, whose whole purpose in life is to just dethrone you. Seriously. What's their deal anyway? You've actually avoided pissing off the humans in hopes that they'll leave you and your army alone. But they never do. You're still new to the whole overlord thing, and if you're being quite honest with yourself, you don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into bringing out the evil overlord they expect. You think that's pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to a higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into the room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is standing in one place guarding a castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? Grant them the day off, come on. You tell them to go take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a bit. Being the overlord sure is great. Oh, well, she has 3 eyes, but, like, all of the eyes, not there. You wake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. It's a maiden from a nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say that she's been getting very impatient thinking about her impending captor, so she's come here to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Darn. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough. How can I become more maiden-like? I need water. Water, good. Oh my gosh, hi Nick! Hello! Welcome. You don't really understand the question. I mean, like, come on. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. Sorry for being like, no issue, Nick. Welcome. We're just happy to have you here. Also, you know what I'm noticing with this game that I'm only just noticing? Nothing is capitalized. There is no capital here. There's no capital here. There's no capitalization. And it's kind of driving me up a wall. Oh my gosh, you did a Rubik's tournament? Did you win? Tell me you won, please. I would be so disappointed if you lost. I wouldn't actually be disappointed, but that's so exciting! Tell me everything. Maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. Last place. Listen, man. Listen. However many people there were, you got one of the numbers. And that's pretty good. One of my older siblings did running in high school, and he got home from his first ever track meet. And I'm like, oh hey, how was the track meet? What did you get? Like what place in the race did you get? And he's like 338. And usually when it's a weird number like that, you think there's more after. And I'm like, oh, congratulations! And he's like, yeah, I'm 338 though. And I'm like, oh. But what matters is that you probably had fun. Oh, a Roblox tournament. I see. How was it? Very good. But what matters is that you probably had fun doing it. Because, like, come on, man. It's fun. And you got Robux for it? That's awesome! The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she stay back and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. This is the first time a human has ever looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. I mean, I guess you can stay for a while. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not at all what she expected them to be. Oh, she's so cute like this. You are glad that she seems to have an open mind about these kinds of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans, as not to agitate them and get heroes sent out after you. That explains why the people of my village have been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We are very grateful. You're surprised to hear her thank you. You've always thought that humans would be violent and unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed, despite the efforts to leave them alone. But Miss Maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time, and that you were actually super evil all along. Maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people of her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. Hey guys, I think she's into her. You notice the sounds of battle having started ringing through your castle walls. The maiden is getting nervous, but you reassure her it's only your underling's roughhousing. No big deal. You know it's probably a hero, but you don't want to upset the maiden by telling her that. Your army will take care of it. It isn't long before the hero bursts into your room. But he shouldn't have made a hero. Why didn't they stop him? The hero just stands there unsure of himself. He is covered in demon blood. Yeah, when he's kind of covered in demon blood, that's not a good thing. As the maiden speaks to him, trying to explain the situation, you move past the hero and out the door. You're not thinking clearly. Seeing your servants' bodies in pieces all strewn about your castle is really taken out of you. The hero did this? There's so much blood. I feel like we did this ending already. Why? Did he come for the maiden? And did he think she needed rescuing? There was no one for this hero to save here. There was never any harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why has it turned out like this? You feel a sudden sharp pain through your back. You look down to see a blade protruding from your chest. And I gotta say, that must be a very freaky thing to see. Oh. That was careless of you. So this is how you die. Stabbed in the back by some cowardly hero. What a joke. You were supposed to be the ruthless one. Ruthlessness is mercy among them. Sorry. That's right. Humans can't be trusted. Not if this is what they're capable of. You should have remembered that before letting one in. You watch as the human takes the maiden's hand, leading her through the sea of corpses he'd left in his wake. Captured by a demon. At least she got what she came for. You join your army in eternal slumber. Slain Overlord. The Overlord was stabbed in the back by the hero. Terrible. These are mean, and I'm getting kind of sad watching these play out. I'm gonna be honest. Alright, next one. Let's reset the stage. Diplomatic and disloyal. Do. Grant them a day off, and then let her stay a while, and then... Okay. Loop. Skip. Grant them the day off. And then skip. And then let her stay for a while. You can't bring yourself to send her away, blah, blah, blah. These two are cute and flirty and adorable, and blah, 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 blah. You always thought humans were violent, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. And then the human shows up. Terrible. Things captured by your kind, captured not at all. You're talking, you're having a grand old time. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. I guess I can let them go. I can. You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You just have to trust her, you decide. With the hero and the maiden gone, you plop down on the comfort of your luxurious overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. What is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while. You've almost fallen asleep when suddenly the maiden and the hero burst into your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. You've been told that a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised. How nice of these humans to care, though. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They've followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was the first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now. It's very annoying. You yell at all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgments and lead them to try and take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very overlord-like. You aren't sure if the strength to back it up, although lately all you have to do is sleep. The group of demons starts muttering something about going back to Plan C and suddenly slams your door. You, the maiden, and the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is caught in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at his friends for betraying him. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die. Burned alive by your own room, by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration you don't even notice that you've grabbed the underling those traitors blamed on everything. They cry for mercy, saying that they were dragged into this plot knowing they'd be killed if they took your side. They cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. Oh, options. Alright, I'm gonna take retribution. You pierce their chest with your claws. They scream. The hero backs away. He is wise not to interfere. They've stopped moving, but you keep digging and twisting your claws into them. It doesn't make you feel any better. The underling's corpse burns along with you and the two humans. This is dark. Spiteful Overlord. The Overlord murders her underling in cold blood. Click. Alright. Boop, 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 burr, burr, burr. Alright. Let's do that again. Reset the stage. But let's be chill about it this time. Okay? We're gonna be so chill about it. Grant them the day off. Blah, blah, blah. Let her stay a while. Blah, blah, blah. Hero comes in. Let them go, of course. Forgive them, I guess. You release the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You'll all burn together. Overlord's true end. You all burn together. Before you're taken back to reset the story once again, you pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself. What's the point of if all my effort is the true end is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is bad end theater. Is the pain sitting in? Oh, but you should have been well aware of what you'd been shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point, you grew attached to my little cast. You started to relate to their flaws, their plights. Plights. Oh, what is going on? You started wishing for their happiness. But you aren't going to find that here in my theater. My lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Anyway, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue on to the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, dear guest. Huh? Puppet Master unlocked all the actors' behaviors. Huh. Is the true ending for all of them then to burn all together? Okay. Let's do a couple more endings, and then I will look for those last couple true endings. Okay, so we're going to be... We're going to be possessive, and we're going to be disloyal, and stay low and keep her here. Okay. And we're going to keep her here. Skip. Grant them the day off, blah, blah, blah. Let her stay for a while, blah, blah, blah. And keep her here. The maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish. You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all, and if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice. You destroy the hero before he can steal the maiden away. She's frightened. You don't understand why. Didn't she say she refers this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. You take a step towards the maiden, and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. Something sharp pierces your back. The hero? No, he's already... It's one of your underlings. The maiden screams. Your servant attacks you, tearing you apart with their claws. You struggle to refiliate. They've done too much damage. You can barely move now. Your blood is everywhere. You can't believe this has happened to you. Why has this happened to you? You have been slain by your own underling. Betrayed Overlord NB. the Overlord, weakened from fighting the hero, is taken out by the Underlord. Dun dun dun. Alright. He. Alright, we're gonna reset the stage. We aren't even gonna mess with these guys, because we're going to click Hungry and Disloyal. And then we're gonna do some normal, boring stuff. It's practically gonna play out how it's supposed to. Tell them to get back to work. Blah, blah, blah. Boop. Let me just, like, go back a couple slides. Back. You're a lecture about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. Your servants ought to do what they're told, whether they like it or not. You look really unhappy with you, but you're sure that they'll thank you later for this. Venturing too far from the castle tends to spell death. I can spell really good. You dismiss the underling and lie down in your nice and comfy Overlord bed. All that lecturing made you want to take a nap. You fall asleep pretty quick. Just another one of your amazing talents as Overlord. You're awakened by one of your underlings. They've brought a hero who inquires about a missing maiden. You tell him you don't know anything. Humans never really visit this place. He believes you and goes home. To your surprise, you figured he might try to fight you, but you're glad to get back to your nap instead. Until you wake up to something completely unexpected. One of your underlings is tearing your throat out. You try to struggle, but you can tell you've already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? You curse at them, choking on your own blood. You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Assassinated Overlord End. The Overlord wakes up to the underling tearing her throat out. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found Lost Letter 4. What? How do I find those? I want the letters. I want the letters. Made with Renpai, save, blah, blah, blah. I want the letters. Was it on the menu, maybe? Or what if I, like, leave? Enter, settings, music, enter. Where's the letter? I want to see the letter. Oh, here it is. My love, do you remember when we first met? I had just finished one of my scripts. One I was quite proud of, in fact. As I read it aloud, you happened to pass by. Terrible ending, you said. Why should these poor fools have to die? You were so rude. You wouldn't accept any of my justifications, and yet you managed to convince me. It really would be better if everyone could live in harmony, however unrealistic that felt. I look back fondly on that day. Even now, I wonder if somewhere you're thinking of it too. Yours, forever yours, Tragedy. When we got the Overlord True End. I think... Yeah, okay, I get it now. So, that means that we got all of the Overlord endings, and that's why we got the letter. Okay. So, I think the last one to get is the... Well, not the last one, but one of the last ones is the Underling's True End. So, we're going to be... trusting, and polite, and obedient, and resolute, and antisocial, and merciful. And we're going to click all those. And then we're going to play as the demon. You are a demon underling, in service of the Overlord. You are particularly strong, but you're not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle, keep humans away, it's unbearably boring. Humans rarely come, blah blah blah. You feel like you need to go to the Overlord. Miss Overlord, can I please leave? Sure! You hang out in the grass for a little bit, and you find a little maiden. Alright, wonderful. Let's hear her out just a little bit. Blah blah blah, humans aren't actually that bad, you learn, blah 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 blah. Ah, they're getting along. Nap time. Blah 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. They want to hear if you're in or not. Sounds like a lot of trouble. You serious? No, 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 let's kill the Overlord. You tell them you were just joking and clarify that you're totally in it to win it. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Oh, I accidentally clicked the wrong button. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you now know how bad it'd be to end up on the wrong side of things. If this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of fox confidence, you worry that you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside, blah 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 blah. I can take her down. You and your friends turn to notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. They take off into the castle. They are headed to the Overlord's. They take off into the castle. Are they headed to the Overlord's room? Fork! The Overlord will kill you for sure if she finds out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash into the castle after the humans. Sure enough, the maiden is already frantically telling the Overlord everything. You shout that humans are liars. Your friends soon arrive to back you up. Except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you. They cry out that it was all your idea, and that you were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse their own crazy plan. You can't believe they'd let tell the Overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You were the one who didn't have a fair choice here. You all shout at each other until the Overlord demands silence. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone and keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep. You doubt her strength. You hear the traitor's friends of yours mutter something about going back to Plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the Overlord and the two humans, and the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish he'd just get that chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You were forced into this mess. You're not sure that they would have killed you. You're sure that now that they would have killed you if you'd sided with her. To your surprise, the Overlord spares you. Or maybe she'd just rather see you suffer instead. Looking around, you've just gone from one dead end to another. The maiden is crying. The hero is silent. You all burn together. Underling true end. You all burn together. No matter the perspective, the true ending remains the same. That is what makes it true. You couldn't resist seeing it for yourself, though, could you? I wonder what will happen if you collect them all. Would you give in to despair, or... A letter flutters from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter 3. Oh my gosh! Okay, let's see what the next letter says. My love, I've been feeling a little depressed lately. Many patrons have come into my theater, but none so far have stayed to experience every tale in its eternity. The critics haven't exactly been kind, but I understand. My stories aren't exactly crowd pleasers. Despite that, you've always listened to the very end. I'm grateful for that. Hope to see you again soon. Forever yours, Tragedy. Aww, that's really cute. Okay. What other endings are there? I think just the maiden true end and the hero true end, yeah. I think, yeah, those are the last two we're missing. Okay. Let's do Maiden's True End. I think everyone stays the same as they are, right? Diplomatic for the hero, trusting and no, whoa. Let me try this one more time. Trusting and diplomatic for the hero. Merciful for the Overlord. Wait, what? Maiden's True End. Trusting and diplomatic for the hero. Merciful for the Overlord. Disloyal for the underling. Okay, let's do it. You're a maiden, blah blah blah. You want to be kidnapped. Introduce yourself, blah 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 blah. The Overlord spares the underling. You feel relieved, but does it make any difference? Will you all burn together? Maiden's True End. Will you all burn together? A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter 2. Keep collecting bad endings for now. It can't end like this. Alright, let's keep collecting. I got one more to go. My love, I finally fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. Yes, that's right. I've opened my very own theater. You would be so proud if only you could see it. I know how much it would have meant to you to be at my side on opening night. I'm sorry again for going ahead without you, but I thought if my theater could just become world famous, then maybe you just might hear of it, wherever you are. Yours forever, Tragedy. Let's do it one more time. Skip, 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 skip. Flee like a coward. Skip, 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 skip. Ask if they'll let you in. Skip, 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 skip. Ask the maiden what's going on. Skip, skip, skip. Is she going to kill it as retribution? It continues to cry and make excuses, but the Overlord does nothing. To your surprise, she lets it go. Are demons capable of mercy? You guess it doesn't matter now. You'll all burn together. Hero's true end. You'll all burn together. A letter flutters from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 1. Letter collector, you collected all of the tragedy letters. Yay! Alright, let's reset the stage. And now we'll read these in order. My love, it just isn't fair at all, is it? For them to force us apart like this, it's unreasonable. Cruel. I had to find an outlet for this grief somehow, so I decided to write. And I'll keep writing until the day you and me once find each other. Until the day you find me once again. And then, maybe, we could write a story. I'm waiting for that day. Forever yours, Tragedy. My love, I finally fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. Yes, that's right. I opened up my very own theater. You would be so proud. If only you could only see it. I know how much it would have meant to you to be at my side on opening night. I'm sorry for going ahead without you, but I thought if my theater could become world famous, then maybe you just might have heard of it. Wherever you are, forever yours, Tragedy. My love, I've been feeling a little depressed lately. Many patrons have come to my theater, but none so far have stayed to experience every tale in its entirety. These critics haven't exactly been kind, but if I understand, my stories aren't exactly crowd pleasers. Despite that, you always listen to the very end. I'm grateful for that. Hope to see you again soon. Forever yours, Tragedy. My love, do you remember when we first met? I just finished one of my scripts, one I was quite proud of, in fact. As I read it aloud, you happened to pass by. What a terrible ending, you said. Why should all these poor fools have to die? You were so rude. You wouldn't accept any of my justifications, and yet you managed to convince me. It really would be better if everyone could live in harmony, however unrealistic that felt. I look fondly back on that day. Even now, I wonder if somewhere you're thinking of it too. Forever yours, Tragedy. And I just have to do it all again, right? And I'll be polite and blah, 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 blah. And I burn. It can't end like this. You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone. By retracing the path you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? If there's something you can do by acting from within their story, maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. What? You are, question mark, question mark. What? The hero, maiden, the underling, on fire. All locked in place. You boldly insert yourself into the story, and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. You didn't know you could do that, but what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you. But why are you pitch black? You feel that this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. The hero, maiden, underling, and overlord have been staring at you too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. You guess that's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? Hi guys! Just come sit. Smile awkwardly and introduce yourselves. The maiden is the first one to respond. My prayers have been answered. You must be her god? No, you're merely the player. If there was any god here, they'd be the final boss. That's just how these role-playing games go. Now you realize what the real, true endings must be. Your tragedy. Now, enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along, but a self-insert story? How passe. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way onto the stage, did you? I am the narrator, storyteller, god of this world. Call me tragedy, if you'd like. Darkness envelops the party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to... Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? You are alone in the darkness with me, tragedy. Since I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater, though I can't abide by you stealing the show without permission. It's quite disrespectful. I'm sick of all of these bad endings. I want to see something new. Are you trying to say my bad endings have gone out of style? You have some nerve. You think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending? It's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you've got. It's time to fight God? The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. Defend. You try closing off your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Oh, is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. Wait, let me try that again. Attack it. You try your best to tear me down, but you can't seem to do any damage. You don't truly exist in this world, after all. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are here. Whoa! Behold my beautifully tragic tales. Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? You've witnessed all 41 of my painstakingly crafted endings. You must be such a masochist as me. I commend your thoughtlessness. Surely these characters have a special place in your heart. They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here to the end of the world. That's right. You came here to save them. You can't do this alone. HP, Infinity, summon. Call for your friend to join you in battle. How will you fight against tragedy? Your HP 41 and 40. This is so cool. Okay, if I remember correctly, this is a hero, maiden, underling, overlord. Let's call the overlord first. You enter the overlord's room, relieved to see the fire contained the torches on the walls. When you close the door behind you, the overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? You explain that no, you're not here to serve you. It's more like you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I should be more aggressive than the humans, like my father before me. His quest for revenge was endless and self-perpetrating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. You can't help but think it's a little late in the game to be getting some new backstory. I have no interest in waging war on the humans. I merely wish to be left alone, to live a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. I realize she must actually be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then I will follow you. The overlord will now come fight alongside you. Your final battle. I see. So this is tragedy. Ah, you've come and you've brought the overlord. I don't stand a chance now. You've prevented me from attaching peace for so long. You've prevented me from attaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die. Ha ha ha. I hope you will be prepared to face your deaths as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Oh, ambition or brutality? Ambition! I'll reach the true ending with my own power. The overlord uses her ambitious neighbor to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Brutality? The river tries to fight tragedy with sheer brutality. Oh, has violence already been working out for you so far? I'll show you my own brutality. No. Okay. So ambition is the correct option. So I guess I have to summon all the people and then figure out the correct option, huh? Underling Requiem. You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle. The Underling is on guard duty, as you expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey! Pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? You explain that no, you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding into their story right now. You tell them, the Underling, that you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. The Underling snickers and you ask what kind of job they'd rather have. It'd be the best if I didn't have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life and not get bossed around or picked on. You think the Underling's friends who have bullied them into the assassination plot only to betray them in the end. If they kept better company, maybe they wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for the Underling suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. So there's a way that even work can be fun? Sounds fake, but I'll tag along with you just in case. The Underling will now fight alongside you. Wait, what the fork? You didn't say anything about a boss battle. The Underling, You must be desperate to call on such an unreliable ally. I can speak really good. Huh. If I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over. Oh, but it won't be that easy. Tragedy attacks with terrible fates. Okay, mischief or tenacity. Tenacity. Knock me down and I'll come back stronger. The Underling uses their tenacity to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Alright, let's summon another person. You happen to find the maiden as she exits the church, her hat set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing, she approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe you are, in a sense. You have come all this way. The maiden regards you with an excited curiosity. Perhaps you might be a demon? I was hoping to meet one today. You think about all the terrible fates that you'd hope would bring about. She is the catalyst of this story, after all. My role as maiden is to be captured by the Overlord. But you see, I've grown tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wanted to understand her role better, and so you ask what it is she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden is confused by your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt like she belonged. The true end for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. If there's something I can do to find fulfillment, then please guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. What is this horrible creature? You wound me, dear maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? I remember now. I remember all the awful things you put us through. Then this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks with terrible fate. Alright, kindness. The maiden tries to appeal to tragedy with kindness. So naive. I'll balance your kindness with my cruelty. No. Okay, hope. Our true endings do exist. They simply must. The maiden hopes with all her heart to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Alright, let's summon our last person. You find the hero in his home hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the heck out of the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? You explain that. No, you're not a demon. How can you explain that the way the hero can understand? Instead, you ask what he's sewing. Oh, this? I craft all my own hero gear. Is that why he's wearing a belt on his head? You sense his pride in his hobby. You wonder if the costumes are what attracted him to the role of hero. Would you like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. You remember the state of your body and decide that, yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He's overjoyed by your answers. Apparently his outfits are too gaudy for the other townsfolk, so no one else wants them. But the true end for this hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. I could make a living as a tailor rather than a hero? Please, tell me what I can do to reach that dream. The hero will now fight alongside you. I agreed to follow you, but this isn't what I agreed to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like this. The hero has arrived. We really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. You're the one who's been killing us. Murderer. I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Now that whole party is here, can you solve my final puzzle? Which combination of behaviors will open a path for your true ending? Show me. Justice. Justice, hope, tenacity, and ambition. I think. The hero tries using his belief in justice to fight tragedy. That justice applies to you too, does it now? You will repay for your own misdeeds? Oh, darn it. Okay, willpower then. Your reign of terror ends here, tragedy. I refuse to give in. The hero uses his willpower to overcome tragedy. This is it. With everyone's hearts united, you take aim towards your best possible futures. You all unleash one final attack to destroy tragedy. Did I do it? I think I did it, guys. Your ending. You've done it. You've managed to defeat me. A tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it. I must thank you all for fulfilling your roles perfectly. Starring Hero as himself. Thank you, Hero. Starring Maiden as herself. Thank you, Maiden. Thank you, Underling. Starring Underling as themselves. Starring Overlord as herself. Thank you, Overlord. Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you, so die already. Written and produced by Tragedy. Don't worry, I'll be making my exit shortly. Directed by you. Finally, we thank the most important of all. We couldn't have made it through without you. Yes, my bad end theater did contain a truly good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it, I wonder? I feel pretty satisfied. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Happy endings shouldn't always come easily. Reality is not so kind. But you've earned this one. Here's your true ending. Your true end. You conquered tragedy and freed the actors from their terrible fates. Oh, and the hero becomes a little tailor! Oh, the story, art, and the music all done by Non-Nami. The animation done by Thunder Flames. Dude becomes like a little showman. Just all the things that show. And the maiden and the overlord become friends with the old guy. The music is so cute. I think it's a lift. Protect. And the script papers. What happens with the script papers now? Are they just left there? I assumed finished. And the bad end theater, am I standing outside it now, I guess? Watching, I guess, as all the tragedies and their fates play. Aid with Renpai, Renpai go burr! All of the notes. Oh, and the Overlord and the Maiden's coloring with a little flower. Your true end. Aww. That was a really sweet game. Something's missing. Oh, you're still here? The curtain has closed for the final time. I'm shutting down my theater. There are no more tragedies left for me to tell after all. Me? You'd like to know why I started my theater? Because I'm obsessed with bad endings, of course. You gently raise your fingers in the cracks of my mask. Piece by piece, it falls apart into your hands, revealing... I should have warned you. This might affect what you think of my stories. You can't help but compare my face to the maiden's. Not her. But it's not like she isn't me, necessarily. That's how it is with fiction. Would you like to hear... not another ending, but... my truth? Tell me! Tell me! Alright, one last story. You may already know this, but... it doesn't have a happy ending. First, I'll set the stage. In this world, there are no such things as demons or even horse heroes, really. There was a girl eager to set out to fulfill some sort of destiny. That part was true. She met someone, another girl. A running theme, isn't it? The maiden and the overlord. The two were inseparable, and for a time everything was just wonderful. But their families, the communities they came from, neither could approve of their relationship. That is the reality for many. This pair was no different. Despite their best efforts, the world was intent on pulling them apart. We used to like the types of stories where love conquers all. Where the strength of your love will pull you through any hardship, and everything is okay in the end. I lost her. And then I started this theater. But this story... Huh? I was hoping to find you. It's you. It's been so long. I thought I'd never see you again. You always think of the worst endings. I wasn't about to just give up because things got difficult. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner? I felt like such a fool. I could say the same to you. You knew I could never resist giving your stories a happy ending. So of course I would be drawn to a place like this. Yes, but I didn't think it would actually work. Sometimes everything does turn out okay in the end. Thank you for reminding me of that. I love you. I love you too. Now, truly everything can live happily ever after. Tragedies end. I've missed you, my darling. Wow! That in theater closed. Settings, music, enter. Can I enter even though it's closed? I guess so, huh? There's nothing more to see, my love. But if you'd like to reset, if you really want to experience everything all over again, I'm happy to oblige. Shall we begin there? No! You're so fickle. Let me know if you change your mind. Wow. Okay, everyone, that was Bad End Theater. I loved that game. That was beautiful, and having just the smallest of gay undertones underneath and not having it be a big focus was just really nice, okay? I'm gonna have us raid to someone who I think you guys will really, really enjoy, so you guys should go spam their chat with Leafy raid, okay? Without further ado, thank you for everyone for being here. Thank you to my watchers. Thank you to my chatters for chatting. Thank you to my modders for moderating. Thank you to my lurkers for lurking. And thank you for being here. I couldn't have done this without you. I hope you enjoyed that end theater, and I will see you very soon for, I think, an Undertale Yellow stream, and I'm so excited to share that with you. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.